Hello.
Now then. How are we doing?
Silence, please. There we go. They say that, don't they? They say that in Wimbledon.
Yeah, they do.
There we go. I was hoping that I'd said the right thing there now. Yeah.
Balls, please.
Yes, new balls, please. There we go.
What do they say when it's when you do something bad on court? It's court violation.
Stop that.
Don't sit on the naughty step. Court violation, Jones, racket abuse.
Yes, I'd be getting told off all the time in Wimbledon because I don't know the rules.
Yeah. You'd be touching the net all the time, and they'd be like, "You're not allowed to do that."
You're not.
You'd be getting the net and going. Whoa!
Are you not allowed to touch the net?
You're not allowed to touch the net in any way, shape, or form.
I did not know that. No, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yes. Sorry.
Brand new things you learn every day on these extremely interesting live lessons. Welcome,
anyway,
one and all.
Yes. Welcome to this lesson, which you've probably guessed. Well, you know, because you've signed up for it. It's all about Wimbledon, which we were talking about there, which is going on right now. Wimbledon. So hopefully you've logged in, you've got Express open, ready to go, and you're sitting comfortably and ready for some multimedia magic.
Yes, exactly. Hey, there was a Welsh player yesterday, wasn't there? Or was it Monday?
Mimi Shoo from Swansea. Yes. Very cool. Very cool. All of Wales was very proud.
Yeah.
So, to have a player in Wimbledon for the first time in a long time. So very good.
Yeah, it was a shame that she was playing Raducanu, or however you say her name, wasn't it?
Yes.
Because otherwise it became a bit of a partisan crowd.
Yes.
But anyway, there we go. I don't know why, but the activity page has disappeared from the screen. So let me get it back up here. Yes.
Hey,
look at that.
You want to do the rules first?
Hey, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong tab.
That's my iPad you got up on screen there now.
Oh, there we go. Oh, right. Remove you. Get it right.
Hey, look at this. What a well-oiled machine these lessons are.
I know. Well, there you go. Anyway, you can see the activity page on the scrolly, adobe.ly/Wimbledon25, Wimbledon, because I always struggle with spelling it. Wimbledon.
I know, I'm a Wimbledon. Yes.
Wimbledon. It does sound actually quite Welsh, doesn't it?
It probably is. No, it's not.
Trigadon, Wimbledon.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
Anyway, let's go through the rules quickly while people are getting the challenge page up. Number one, pauses when you want. We'll be hitting the ball back and forth over the net between myself and Mr. Joe.
Foul.
So you will get plenty of time to do your work, and Mr. Jones will be on the iPad, I'll be on the browser, and we'll be going back and forth. But if you do think we're going a little bit too fast, you're more than welcome to pause this and press play again whenever you're ready. Number two, Mr. Jones.
Well, at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, Dom will be emailing all of the teachers that have registered for today's session with a certificate for all of you that have taken part, whether you've done one activity or both. There is a certificate for you. And if teachers, you're standing there thinking, oh, but days I haven't registered, then get registered by going to adobe.ly/live lessons and register right now for the session that we're on right now. And then you'll get that email at about 4 o'clock. Now, also on that email is some super exciting news and instructions about Express School Challenge, which is our third rule, isn't it, Dom?
Yes, it is. What a great forehand pass down the line that was. Yes, because we're getting to the end of term and you're running out of time to get your swag and pizza party. So if you do this challenge, this activity or any of the activities or any Express activity, in fact, with at least 3 classes in your school or 100 pupils, whatever is easiest for you, then you can send in some evidence and we'll send you free things and we can send you pizza as well. And to be honest, the pizza, you need to get it quick. You need to get it quick because the end of term is coming very, very quickly. And the sooner you submit your evidence, yes, is nigh. Yeah.
I don't think I've used that word in a sentence properly ever. The end of term.
The end of term is nigh. Yeah. The cattle are lowing. So yeah, absolutely. Get it in because we need to send out your voucher so you can have pizza before the end of term, and that'd be great, wouldn't it? Right.
Also, Ed, before you carry on, get your shout outs in. Let us know which schools are joining us, which classes are joining us. Teachers, you can do that on the comment section in YouTube, or you can use the StreamYard link that Dom sent out to you earlier on today, and you can add comments there. Or if you're mega old school, you can reply to Dom's email, and he may or may not put those up on screen. There we go.
It just depends. Who knows? Right. Okay. Let's have a look at this. I was going to say challenge page, but it's the activity page. Can't call it the challenge page anymore. So, right. If you've got iPad, you can open up your camera app and scan the QR code. It'll get you through. Teachers, click here to read about the Express School Challenge. Get your free stuff. Do it before the end of term. Right. Activity 1: create a new Wimbledon logo. Now, I really enjoyed putting this together, I must admit. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the original one, which is easy peasy, absolutely easy peasy. And then once we've done that, we're going to make it into something brand new. And I like that one as well. Yeah, I really like that one. Although I might be a bit busy, I'm not sure yet. But I'm going to do something different on today's, I think. Right, and then second activity is going to be a Wimbledon front page splash. You're going to use AI to put yourself on centre course, holding the trophy aloft. Now it is the Wimbledon Challenge Cup, and then the Venus Rosewater dish for the women, which I thought was cool. So, shall we get on with the first challenge or the first activity?
Yeah, we've got a first comment in, Dom.
What? Already?
Yeah, look, we got
the chickens.
A party of
Hebog.
Moyle Hebog, yes.
Moyle.
Yes. So I'm guessing that's the class name because it's Ray Robert Primary School.
Does Moyle mean hill or view?
It is, well, yeah, it's kind of, so it literally means bald. Like if somebody's bald, we say they've got a bald head, you pen Moyle. But it actually, Moyle is like a bald, kind of round-topped hill, basically. It's a specific kind of hill.
What if that happens if there's a tree on top of the hill? That's not a Moyle anymore.
Then it's not Moyle, no. No, it's not Moyle then, no.
Oh, right.
Yeah, wow. And then Hebog is a hawk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, cool. So it's kind of the hill with hawks.
It's a bald hawk?
No.
Like
it's
a bald eagle?
Like Hawk Hill, like Hawk's Hill. That's
but could it not be a bald eagle?
Stop it now.
A bald hawk.
My culture you're toying with, yeah. Anyway,
right.
You,
let's get on with it.
Hebog.
All right, let's go. Okay, so here we are. Student 44, what would you like to create today? This is the brand new homepage, everyone, if you've never seen it before.
Oh, yeah.
It's looking tasty. So there's all sorts of things here that you can do, blah, 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 blah. But what I'm going to do is going to go to the plus. I like it in old school. And I'm going to go to square. 1 by 1. That's the ratio. 1 by 1. Okay, now I'm going to call it Wimbledon logo. Okay, cool. Please don't. Oh, I've already got one called Wimbledon logo. I've got tennis logo. There we go. That'll do. Whatever's unique to you. That's absolutely fine. Right. Now, the first thing you're going to do is go over to elements, and then you're going to go to shapes, and then you're going to go to circle. And the first one is good. Well, actually, let me just have a quick look-see. Yeah, no, the first one is good. The first one is good. And I'm going to put that in there. Now, I'm going to stretch it out, and then I'm going to make sure it's centered. Very important that you make it centered. Very important. How important, Mr. Jones?
Tres important. Maybe you could use
the
position button there, can you? And use middle center.
Ooh, very interesting.
Oh, it is. Look, it is middle center. It's grayed out.
There you go. If I move it off,
yeah,
and then go back to position, middle center. Ooh, lovely. Right. And then we need to click it again. And then over here on the left-hand side, you see the fill. Now you click that. Now, there is a proper hex code. You can see that if you go to custom, you can put in a hex code in here for the Wimbledon colors, but we don't have to be too exact. It's something around about that.
That's a bit extreme, isn't it? Hex codes.
Coming from you, that's a bit extreme in itself. Right, right about there, probably quite good, I think. Something like that. Yeah, nice. Okay, so that's our first one. Now, if we go back to this page, what you'll see is that you have this big purple circle, and then you've got a green one in the middle, but then there's also a white bit on the outside. Now, we don't have to do 3 circles here. I'm going to show you all the best tips here before you go on to Mr. Jones. So what I'm going to do is top tips. So the next circle along, and you can find this again by going to elements, and you go into shapes, and circles is there. And it's just the second one along. It has a border on it, and that's what we like. Okay, so I'm going to click that so it comes on. Now it's giving me another purple one. No, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. So what I'm going to do is change the color. If you go to swatches and just choose white for the border, but then for the fill, let's go down more colors. And we're just looking for a deep green. Now this one isn't. Yeah, that's not bad actually. That'll do. That'll definitely do.
Bang on.
Yeah, bang on. There you go. Wimbledon green. So now what we're going to do is we're going to size it up. Okay, maybe around about there. And then again, you want to center it and middle it. Around about there.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Maybe it's a touch bigger. You're looking to keep some space around the outside so that you can put your text in. And you can play with the border thickness. Whoa. Dear me. Right, round about there is pretty good. 18 I've gone for. 15 probably good as well. 16 no. Right, let's have a look at what Mr. Jones has got in store.
Come on, then.
Off you go, Mr. iPad.
Here we go on the iPad homepage, which, as you can see, is the same as the new browser homepage. So we're going to start off with a square project. And to do that, we're going to go to the blue Get Started dot, which is just here, up here in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Give it a tappy tap, and we're going to choose square from this little window that pops up. Boosh. There we go. Now, I want a circle. So to get hold of a circle, we go to elements on the left-hand side, which is next to Dom there. Down there, next to Dom. Elements. Yes. Give that a tap. And then we're going to go scroll across the top. So you can't see it at the beginning. You see it up at the top of the panel. We've got all design assets. But if you keep on going over, you'll get to
We've got a bit lag on your screen, I think.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
A little lag.
There's a lot of lag.
It's still on the first bit.
I can see.
Oh, there we go. Back.
Muchos lag there. Right, okay. Yeah. So, got the elements, shapes at the top, and now circles. So, I just want this solid circle. So, it's on the iPad, it's actually the second one along. So, give it a tap.
Okay.
There we go. And do you know what? I'm going to tap it again. I want 2 of them. Give it a tap. There we go. 2 circles. Okay. Right. Now then, I'm going to start off with the first one. Make it a bit bigger to start off. And let's change the color of this first circle, okay, by going to the black.
Can I just tell everyone this is an unsanctioned process, but we shall go with it nonetheless.
There's black square over on the left-hand side. Give it a tap. And we're going to go to more colors. And there's plenty of colors in here for me. So I'm going to go for the darkest purple there is. So, you know, there's one row of purples, really, isn't there? Between the lilac and the pinks. So I'm going to go for the darkest purple possible. There we go.
Nice.
Brilliant. And then I'm just going to bring up the size of that circle. I don't want the top edge of it right against the edge of the canvas. Okay, so I just want a bit of a gap. Something like that's fine. And then, without fussing with it anymore, I'm just going to go position, and I'm going to go middle center. Lovely. Right. Nice. So my second circle, let's bring that up. Now, if you've accidentally made your big one, the one that's in the front, you can use your layer stack, which is over here at the top right-hand corner, and swap them around. Okay. So the big purple one should be in the back, should be at the bottom of the layer stack. Now, then this next one needs to be in that lovely shade of green. So let's tap on the black square again, which is just over here on the left-hand side. Tap. More colors. And let's scroll all the way down. And yeah, Dom went for this one, the very last color on the palette. And we're going to go for that green. Same again. I'm just going to roughly resize this. Something like this. There we go. And then I'm going to do middle center. There we go. Now that I've done that, it looks a bit too big. So I'm going to just bring down the size. And I'm going to do middle center again. Brilliant. And then finally, we want that white line. So with this circle selected, you can see right here next to me, there's this slider that says border thickness. Okay.
Border.
And I can just drag it up. Okay, and it's going to add a border. Now it's going to add a border. It's going to add a border in a similar shade to the fill that you got. So it's made it this kind
That's
of
no good.
green. That's no good. We're going to change that. So you can see that the second square along from me here is the actual outline color. So give that a tap, change it to white. And there we go, we're done.
Nice. I like it. Right. Okay. Let's remove and add. Gosh, they could be twins.
Sure.
Right. So if we go back over to the activity page, you will see that in the middle here, we've got tennis rackets and we've got a tennis ball as well. So we probably won't be able to get it exactly the same, but we can get pretty close.
Well, not with that.
No, with that, you know, he's absolutely right. Right. So I'm in elements still. So I'll just go up to icons. Although you could just go to all. Maybe that would be a good one. And then tennis racket. Now, tennis rackets. I wonder if plural makes it even better. Not really. But you can have view all in design assets. Now, the problem with design assets really is they're kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
They're kind of sketchy. And actually, what we're looking for something more classic. So you can see if we go back to the page that we've got these two rackets crossed over each other. And what I really like about it, I guess, is that they've got this, you can see the overlapping lines here. Yeah. Kind of nice. So you could make it from two different ones, but I think, the fact that it's already got one in here is pretty good. Yeah. Now, I clicked it, and what's happened?
It's not there, Dom. Did you click it?
Well, you say that, don't you? But if I go here, so I've clicked something, but if I go and investigate my layer stack over here, you'll see that it's written green.
Green rackets on a green circle. What?
That's absolute schoolboy error. So therefore, I need to go over to the fill and change it to white. Okie dokie. Now, I like the rackets; they're good. But if I bring up the size, maybe that's a bit big. It's a bit big, I think. So let me just bring it down ever so slightly. Cool. And then there we go. I'll push it. Well, I'm going to put them in the center now, but actually, I don't think I will keep them there.
Oh no!
I don't think I will keep them in the center like that, because what I'm going to do now is I want the tennis ball to be on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go back to elements, and then I'm going to do like tennis ball. Okay, nice. This one's good.
Oh yeah,
a white one. That's what I wanted. And actually, if you check your facts on the activity page, check your facts. You'll see that's the way that those little check your facts. Then you'll see that the kind of the lines that are going across there, they actually go across kind of horizontally. Oh no, I hate it when it does this. How am I ever going to get this back now?
Upper days, right?
How am I ever going to get this back? I'm going to have to refresh the page. Blimey.
We've gone into the matrix. There we go.
We definitely did. Right. So I got this one here. I'm going to bring it down so it feels like it's the right kind of shape. There is pretty good. And then I'm going to pop this up slightly higher, because now that the tennis ball's in there, it feels like...
You've got two tennis balls. Why do you want two tennis balls for?
Honestly, give me a break. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this tennis ball here now. Because it's an icon, you can't actually rub it out or anything like that. You can't use the erase tool or anything like that. So what we'll do is we'll go over to elements again, go to shapes. We don't need a tennis ball shape. All we need is a circle. And then that circle needs to be the same green as the one we chose before, which is all the way bottom right. And then if I size that down, pop it over the top. Where's it gone?
Gosh.
Who cares?
Wow.
Look at that.
That's some
cool.
pro skills going on there.
Yeah, that's like cut and stick for graphic designers.
Man, pro skills.
Right. There was a lot of skills going on there, so we better recap them. Let's go and have a look at Jones.
Right. So, shall I do the same as you, or should I do,
Hey, you've already gone off piste once. Why not do it again?
Okay, well, I mean, let's just search for tennis. rather than tennis racket. Because, you know,
That wasn't an invitation for insubordination, but you took it as one.
There are multiple spellings of racket as well, aren't there? You know, you could
spell raquette.
Raquette. Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to avoid that entire problem, although I've just brought it up, by not using that word. So just as for tennis. So there's that first one that Dom chose. So if I wanted an easy life, I would just pick that. But, you know, I'm awkward. So I'm going to go.
Yeah, he's not up for that.
No. So I'm going to grab this. This looks more like a vintage racket. And it's done the same as Dom had. It's given me a green bat on a green circle, which is no good. So let's change the color of the bat to white. There we go. Right. Now then. There's my first bat. Let's pop it up there. Now I want another one of these. So you can see it's got the duplicate button is right there. So let's hit duplicate. Okay, so there's my second bat. And what I'm going to do, I just want to flip it. I want a mirror image. So in Express, you can use the position button and flip horizontal. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Just keeping an eye on those middle bits.
I'm keeping an eye on them, don't you worry.
Now, Dom's probably going to be like, oh, we can't see where they cross. He's going to say something like that. So let's just...
That's how I speak. Can't see how they cross.
I think you'll find. Yeah, right. So I'm going to head him off at the pass, right?
Head him off with the moil.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to elements, and I'm going to go to shapes, and I'm going to grab a line. Line. There we go. Okay. Grab that first line. Lovely.
Yes.
Set that to a green color.
Yes.
There we go. And now I can use this to show where and you don't need to be too fussy because I'm mega zoomed in here. You know, I've pinched all the way in.
I've got so off piece.
Well, you know, some people are going to want to do it like this, Dom. You know, there we go. And now it shows where it's crossed. And if you want to copy that, if Dom shows us the original logo, it's actually got some kind of strapping going across the tennis racket handles, so we could even proper show off and put some of those.
Nice. That's nice
as well. So that's all I got left to do. I'll carry on doing that when Dom's showing you the next bit, but you can see that it's looking absolutely splendid. So let's get a tennis ball in there. Over to icons and go back to tennis. Tennis. There we go. There's the ball. I don't want a green ball. And we're going to go to white. There we go. And let's
get those lines horizontal.
Size down. And oh yeah, watch out. He wants that. There we go. Let's just go to position and center that up. Beautiful. Yeah. Right. Over to you, Dom.
Okay. Just give me a little second. All right, let's go here now. Look at this on my official logo here. I put some text in, and do you know what? I was practicing while Mr. Jones was on because it's not straightforward, guys. It's not straightforward. So I'm just going to delete that. No, I don't think it is. You seem to be much more comfortable with this than I am. But hey, you know, why change the habit of a lifetime? So we got our logo here, and then I'm going to go to T for text on the left-hand side. Give it a click. Add your text. Right now, I'm just going to make sure that everything is in capital letters. So you might want to put the caps lock on your keyboard. That's the one. So the championships. Okay, now the thing that you're probably like, oh, this is what I'm going to do if you're. Well, actually, first thing is change the fill color so it's white, right? So you've got this text here, but I want it to bend around that kind of top, kind of purple tile around the outside. So what I'm going to do is go to text layouts and go to arch, and then you're like, okay, well that doesn't quite work how I wanted it to work. And if you start changing around the size of it, it's like, no, that still doesn't kind of work the way I want it to work. And I'm playing with it, and then it's too high and it's too low and all the rest of it. So you just need to keep on dragging out the sides until bish, bash, bosh, it goes right into place. Nice. And then what I might do is just use my little arrows. Well, I was going to use my arrows, but it doesn't seem to let me to do that. Not letting me do that is what I'm trying to say. Yes, but also, yeah, that looks all right actually. But one thing you can do is I don't know if you can see, but I've got my cursor in here. You see, and one thing you can do is you can add in a couple of kind of spaces and see whether that just kind of sizes it up. But one thing you've got to remember with that is you've got to do the same spaces on each side. Now, in terms of the recommended fonts, it gave me the one that I was playing around with before, which is Liberation Sans. But if you go to recommended fonts, you can maybe choose one that you think is slightly better, and they'll all have a slightly different kind of vibe to them, I suppose. But the Wimbledon one is kind of, it's pretty. That one is looking good actually. I think that one's the one. And then I'll just position it again. That's nice. Okay. Are you ready for text, Mr. Jones, or shall I do the next bit of text?
Of course I'm ready. Yeah, let's go.
He's born ready. There we go. Okay. Remove and add to stage. There you go.
So I'm going to go to T for text on the left-hand side, over there, down by Dom's window. And then I'm going to tap on the blue button that says add your text up at the top. And that's going to give me a text box. And then this says the championships. So the championship.
Are you not going to... I suppose you can do dynamic and arch at the same time.
When you go to arch, it capitalizes automatically.
Oh, do you know what? That's a little known fact, and I didn't know it.
There we go. So whenever you use any of these, it'll automatically capitalize all of them. In fact,
well, that's good.
We've got arch. There it is. It's capitalized. Okay. So let's change the font to white. First things first. Okay. Now the size of this kind of semicircle that you've got, you can't really play around with it too much. Otherwise, it doesn't curve properly. If it's too small, then it kind of curves weirdly, doesn't it? That looks odd.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you go too big, then it kind of does this type of thing. Okay?
Yeah.
So when you're doing this, you kind of have to sort out your curve and leave it alone. Okay? Like that. Like that's probably, no, it's still a bit touch big. There you go. So, right, once you're happy with your curve shape, forget what the text is actually looking like. Just, are you happy with the curve itself? And yes, I am there. That's probably the best curve I can get. Right, now let's think about font. So when it says So Sans 3 over here next to me, I'm going to tap in there, and I'm just going to type in bold. And let's see, does it give me any kind of options? Maybe that.
That one's nice. Yeah, that one's okay.
It's a bit fussy, isn't it? We'll try something else. You just want a bold, clean font.
That one's good. What's that?
That's great.
Acumen Pro.
Acumen Pro. So bold is definitely a shout. Right. Yeah. Now that we've done that, basically you don't want to mess around with the font, and you definitely don't want to change the shape of your text. So yeah, I love that tip that Dom gave us. Tap in as if we're going to add some text in, and let's just bring the cursor all the way to the beginning before the first T, and just add in a space. And then let's bring that cursor right round to the end and add in the space. So if you're adding a space at the beginning, add it at the end. And you can add 2, 3, 4, 5, however many spaces you want. The only final thing you can do if things are looking a little bit funny is to play around with the letter spacing. Okay? This will allow you to kind of fill the height of that semicircle more or less. And what you're looking is for the gap, the purple gap above and below your letters to be kind of the same, So obviously it's far too close to the top compared to the bottom. Yeah. So you just want it to be kind of about there, I suppose, like that. And the letter spacing will help you to do that. All right, there we go. What's next?
Very nice. Okay, so let's go back here. So we've got this first bit. And then the bottom of the logo just says Wimbledon. So I'm going to add my text. It's giving me this Roboto thing again. So that's the one that I used. I'll just type in Wimbledon. And then I'll change the fill color to white. And then I'll go to text layouts. And this time I want it to bow.
Bow.
There we go. And then you need to start playing around until your kind of shape, as Mr. Jones says, is kind of what you want. Miles off here, absolutely miles off. And this one, what I found with this one is that actually you need to kind of add in quite a lot of spaces.
How many you add
You
in?
know, I added 4 there, but it still needs a few more, I think. So I've got to get it. This is where it can get slightly frustrating.
Yeah, I think you need.
And the
Yeah, you need to get
Go
the
on.
semicircle in the right shape
Yeah,
without looking at the text. Really, you want to that semicircle right first.
yeah, I think you're right. And then so get it round about there, and then once it's in there, that's the right shape, and you can see that because the curve is very nicely placed there, but it's too high. That's the problem here. So the easiest way to do it is kind of add in spaces. So add in another 3 there. 1, 2, 3. That's kind of getting to where I want it to be. And then maybe I'll just bring it up ever so slightly. It's still quite big, so I could probably put in another 1 each side, something like that. Maybe I'll go again. And just until you feel like the size of the text is what you want it to be. And that kind of looks pretty nice to me.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's worked out well. So the gap between the top and the bottom in relation to the edges of the purple is pretty good there. And the curve looks pretty uniform all the way around. So there, I mean, how many spaces did I put in there? Maybe like 8 on each side. Quite a lot. Quite a lot, people. I'm not going to lie. So there we go. Let's see what Jones has got.
Okay, so let's get that sorted. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this first text box rather than start from scratch. So with the champion, 3 dots, duplicate, okay? And then straight away, I'm going to change the text layout from an arch to a bow. So I'm going to go there and change the text layout from arch to bow. There we go. And it should give you it in the correct shape. You know, the semicircle is the right shape.
Yeah, that's a great tip.
So once you've done that, I can't change the shape of that now. And if I try and change the font size, it's going to change the shape as well. So I can't touch the font size and I can't touch the shape. The only things we can do is add spaces and change letter spacing. Those are the 2 kind of tools you've got to get this to fit. Right. So let's tap in there and then let's triple tap to select that whole text. Tap, tap, tap. There we go. And I already know that I'm going to want, let's say, 4 spaces before the word Wimbledon. So I'm going to go spacebar, 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 and then I'm going to start typing Wimbledon, and then I'm going to press the spacebar 4 times again at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's done that iPad thing of giving me a full stop when you do 2 spaces.
Yeah.
So I'll do it slowly. 1, wait, and then again 2, 3, 4. There we go. If you do 2 space bars really quickly on an iPad, it puts in a full stop for you. Right. Now, I'm not happy because, it doesn't look good. Also, the font sizes are too different. Let's just give the championships a quick tap. So the championships is font size 89. Okay. So ideally, I'd like Wimbledon to be something similar. Okay. It doesn't have to be bang on, but something around 89 would be perfect. So let's try doing that with letter spacing alone. If I bring up the letter spacing, it forces down the font size.
Oh, nice.
Like that.
Yeah, now, good. That's worked out well.
If that's spaced it out too much, which I think it probably has, I'll bring back the letter spacing, and this is where you do what Dom did, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to add another 1, 2 spaces this side, tap over here, 1, 2 spaces this side. Now then, what's the font size now? We're on 108. So if I bring up the letter spacing a little bit, I'm going to get that.
Oh, there you go.
89. So it's exactly the same size. So those are kind of the levers you've got. You can add spaces, you can change letter spacing, but really you can't change the shape of that semicircle. Otherwise, things don't follow the curves of the circles.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Right. Let's so we've done our logos. Well done, everybody. Fantastic first set. Now it's time to go to the second set, which is you can see down here where you've got add a page and a little 3 dots button, you see. Go to the 3 dots button just down here. You can see it there. Oh, there we go. And then go duplicate. Right. Now, that's important because we're going to change lots of things in here, but you don't really want to change this text because that just took us forever. But what I am going to do is start changing things like the purple around the outside, the green in the middle, and also these icons that I've used here. So first things first, I'm going to go to, I think I'm actually going to go to elements, and I'm going to go to backgrounds, and I'm going to search backgrounds. I'm going to go for dotted. Now, the reason why I wanted to go for dotted because I was thinking, well, that's cool because it's like tennis balls, right? So I'm going to click this one because it's loads of dots. Very cool. Ooh, maybe I could, you can have a little play and see which ones. Oh, that one's great. That one is cool. Right. Now I like that, but I didn't put this in as a background. So let's get rid of that background thing and then select your background. And then what you will see is if I go to the slider on set background, you can detach background and then it just becomes an image on its own. Boom. Right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the crop icon with this dotted background selected. Go to the crop icon, and I'm going to crop it into a circle. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Right? Click outside. Now I've got my circly circle here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to match it exactly to the purple one. There we go. Keep going. Gonna keep going. Gonna keep going. Gonna keep going. Right. Now that is exactly on top of the purple one. Great. And then you're like, what on earth is going on? This is making no sense.
Yeah, what on earth is going on?
Because now we're going to go to effects. And we're going to go down to duotone. Give it a click. And then I'm going to click the sliders within duotone. And then I'm going to go for a couple of colors. So my first color, let's go to more colors. Let's go for the darkest, purplest. There we go. And then I'll go to the one next to it. Well, no, I'll go to the first one. That's fine. Right. And then, why has my duotone gone crazy? Here we go. Sorry, I'm going to go to custom. No, to swatches, more colors, last purple, and then scroll back up. And then in the highlights, click that one. And then go down to the purple again, but go to the other purple or maybe the slightly lighter purple. That is good. Nice. So I've got my duotone sorted there with a couple of kind of Wimbledon-esque colors. And then you can see it's in my layer stack. And all I need to do is bring it down, 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 down. Okay, I need to scroll up a bit here. And then, ooh, nice. Because this purple circle that I used originally, don't even need it. If I click that and go to the button, it's gone now. Boom. So I've got a nice funky background now for my new improved logo.
That's lovely, that is, yeah.
Yeah, go on. Let's see what you're going to do with yours.
Oh, hello. Hang on.
Hello.
Right. So let's duplicate this page then. So here's my first page, the actual Wimbledon logo. So as Dom said, all the way down there in the bottom, right-hand corner, we got the 3 dots. I'm going to duplicate. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I like that texture that Dom had for it. So let's try something similar, but maybe a little bit different. Let's go for, if I go to elements and if I go to the design assets, what about searching here for a tennis ball?
Ooh. Okay. Interesting.
There we go. Just one tennis ball. Which one? There's 2 options there for me. I'll go for this one, I think. Now, let's do the same as let's just bring that all the way up in size. So actually, the top tip for this is to get the tops lined up. See? Just get the top of this ball lined up with the top of that purple circle. And then you can resize and you'll easily line it up with the bottom. And then we can just do position, middle center. And there we go. They are.
Nice.
Okay. Now then, let's use, maybe let's try multiply or screen with that.
Ooh, hello.
I think I'll go with multiply. Bring down the opacity a little bit. No, I think screen actually. Bring down the opacity. And then maybe I'm going to bring that down in the layer stack as well. So that it kind of, well, yeah, all of those things that I did there, they're going to go before long, and those things.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll pop it there. Nice. And there does too. Maybe there. Maybe there. Yeah. There we go.
Interesting. I like it. Right. Okay. So I've got my background on here. There we go. And then what I'm going to do here is start playing around. Right. Tennis rackets, get rid of them. Thing over the tennis ball, get rid of it. Tennis ball down the bottom. I'm actually going to, oops. You see, I moved my background without realizing. Let's use the undo button. I'm going to press the tennis ball, and then I'm going to bring that up here. Now, I'm going to need that later. Now, in terms of things that I can put on here, well, I think I'm going to go to elements. I think I'll go to icons, and then I'll go to tennis player. I've still got my caps lock on. There we go. Tennis player. Right. Okay. Now, these aren't what I'm looking for. I don't like them. So if I go to design assets, what have I got? Oh, these are a bit better. This is the one I'm looking for. This one here. That looks great. Put that in there. Now, the color, I need to change it to white, so I'm going to click it. And because it's a design asset, it's not so easy. It's just choosing the color, you see. You have to go to effects again, and you would have to go to duotone, click the slider again, and you go for white on one. And actually, you don't need white on the other because it's just showing the shadows, which is fine. So now I've got myself a white tennis player in the middle. Very cool. And I can pop that up there. Now, because, this tennis player is, obviously a bit smaller, the ball needs to be smaller as well. I'm just going to pop that there. And he's just tossing the ball nice and high. And something like that. So it's just come out of his hand. So you could, make sure that this thing is centered, but because of the arch of the body, you're going to have to sort of eyeball it a bit. So I'm kind of thinking, where's his belly button? So I probably want to put that around about center. That's looking good. Okay, so we've already changed this and it looks great. And that's the first step I'm going to go on. And I'll show you different ways in which you can do that. So let's see what Jones has got.
Yeah, that's very cool. I've changed that ball so that it's just on the green rather than on the purple. Right, it's time for me of all of these things that I did. So let's get rid of all these bats and the ball as well. I'm going to get rid of that. And then I will get rid of all of these lines that I did. Tell you what, I won't do that. I'll do that when you're over on Dom's screen. Oh, I've nearly done it now, so I may as well do them. Right. Right. Now
it looks great with that tennis ball in the middle. So did you just reduce the size of the shape, did you?
Yeah, and then
very cool. I like that.
I've got it on the multiply blend mode. So I suppose I could just go for a normal, just the normal actually, couldn't I? But I just mess around with the blend modes and see which one works best. There's no...
Yeah, I think you did it right there.
Yeah, it's fine. Right, now then, let's try something funky. Okay, I'm going to use AI. I'm going to go to media, generate image, square.
What?
I know. Don't worry. This is fine. So what do we want? I want just a kind of really cool, like curved letter W, basically. That's all.
Nice.
For Wimbledon. So I'm just going to type in here, curved letter W, which is what I want. And I want it to be white. And then no background.
Well,
when you say no background, when you're generating AI, it does give you a background, but it just gives you a really plain one that can be removed easily. Okay, so it won't give you kind of a transparent background. It'll just give you a plain background. So curved letter W, white, no background. Cool. So let's wait for it. It's going to give me 4 results.
Because there is like a logo, isn't there? There is like a Wimbledon logo, which is a W. Ooh, nice.
Those are really cool. I mean, one of them isn't white, but there we go. I mean, the first one's cool. Looks like 2 people arm wrestling.
Yeah.
Cool. But I think my favorite is this one. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, nice.
Right. So I brought that in. I'm happy with that. Let's get rid of the background. So I'm going to get rid of that and tap on remove background. And then that's going to just leave me the W. And then you can Wait for
You
it
can
to
do
get,
some effects or something like that.
wait for it to, yeah, and then I'm just going to use, and it could even be the duotone. There we go. Let's get rid of that. Could even be
Nice.
could even be the duotone, to be honest. I'm going to
Mm,
fill up the circle with it like this. So make sure that I've got an edge touching the white line everywhere,
mm-hmm.
like that. And then I think I'm just going to go into effects, and I'm going to go into duotone, and I want it to be the shadows to be white, and I want the highlights to be white.
Nice.
And I quite like that, just kind of cool. It
Yeah.
looks kind of handmade. I like it. And now also,
Yeah.
because this is an image, you could, if you say you wanted it to be a bit higher, you can crop stuff. So if I wanted to, I could crop the top down if I want, but I'm quite happy with it as it is. Yeah, so I
Lovely.
think I'd go with something like that, I think.
Yeah, I like the way it overlaps at the top. That's cool.
Hmm.
Alrighty. So I've got this one. I'll just show a few things that you might want to do. You could go over to in your elements. You could go over to icons, and I was thinking you could put like trophy in there, and then maybe you could have like a trophy, make it white. There we go, and then you could bring them and put them down at the sides here, little trophies, which is kind of cool. But also, I mean, you could do like strawberry, because that's associated with Wimbledon, strawberries and cream.
It
So
is.
maybe you could get something like that, put it in there, give it a click, white, and then bring it over. There we go. Just pop them at the side there, a little nod to maybe put it on an angle. There we go. That looks good. Halfway is fine. And then duplicate it, put one on the other side. And then, yeah, something like 11 again, because it was minus 11 on the other side. So I like that. That's pretty cool. But the thing that I really like doing actually was, if I'm in elements again and go to all, if I put concentric circles or concentric circle, you'll see that in my backgrounds, again in backgrounds, if I click that, it goes into my background. Now you can't see it because everything's kind of blocking it, but if I select that, go to the slider again and detach the background, it comes to the front, which is great. And then what I can do is I can go to crop it to a circle, nice, shape it so that it kind of sits perfectly in the middle of my logo. Okay, and then maybe I'll want to bring my tennis player on top and also my tennis ball. Bring that to the top. Okay, but then with the concentric circle selected, you can go to effects, duotone, and then this is where you click it again. And what you want to do here is go down to your swatches and then pick a couple of greens. So shadows can be that one, and then that can be the next one, something like that. That looks cool. Now just make it slightly smaller so that it sits within that white border there. And then if I go to edit and position, middle and center, boom, look at that, done deal. Loving that. There you go, I've done. So what I like about the concentric circles is it's like the lawnmower lines on a perfect court. That's what my thinking behind that one.
Yeah.
Right. Let's you finish yours off, Mr. Jones, and we'll have to move on. Oh, that's looking lovely.
Yeah, I think just setting the duotone to just white and white lost a lot of the details that was cool about that AI thing. So I just undid it, changed back to white and green. I think I'm pretty much done. I don't think I need to add anything else. If you do think, just go into elements, go over the icons, and I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to search for texture circle. There's a set of these. If you go into texture circle in icons, you do get a really cool set of these. Look at these.
Oh, nice.
Fun stuff in here. Lots of fun ones. That first one is great. So let's try that. Let's bring that in. Oh, brilliant. Something went wrong. Anyway, with those, what I would do, my plan there, we won't hang around for it now, is to just change it to a slightly lighter version of the purple that I've got. And then just pop pop it in the back. We'll try it. So just bring that in. There it is.
There you go.
So now I'll just bring that up again. Let's just roughly bring it up, and let's use position, middle center. Perfect. Thanks very much. And then let's change the color of those dots to a lighter version of the purple. How much lighter? Just one step lighter, I think.
Cool.
And now I'm just going to bring it all the way down to the back, just one in front of the purple background. There we go.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I like that a lot. Right. So if you want to, we're going to move on now. But if you want to download it, click the download button here. If you want to print it out, PDF print is a good one. Otherwise, you can press share and send it to, come on, share. Send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or create a view-only link, which is this one there. Okie dokie. Right. Let's go back to our activity page and have a look at activity number 2. Wimbledon front page splash. And this was fun. I like doing this. This is what we're going to make. Okie dokie. Right. Easy peasy. So let's go back here. So you're done with this one. A in the top left. You can see it up here in the top left. Give it a click. And now I'm going to go to, create a poster. Let's do that. That's fine. So you can see that middle hero tile there. Give it a click. And then what I'm going to put like tennis news or something like that. Okay, great. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put, if we go back here, we're going to put this kind of newspaper name right at the top. So it's a red top. And we're going to do that by going over to T for text, add to text. And this can be like, what's a tennis word beginning with M?
Match.
The Moyle match. There we go. The Moyle match. We're going to view all. We can make it. We can choose any font. The Moyle match. That's what it's going to be. Ooh, that one's cool. Never seen that before. Yes. I didn't know how to say it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yongju. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to go to what am I going to go to? Effects, all the way down to shape, and this one here. Right. Now, if you click it again, the text fill is black and the box is yellow. So let's change the box to a red.
Yeah.
So something like that. And then let's change the text fill to white. Something like that.
Very good.
And then if I go very good, if I go to effects and go to text layouts and go to dynamic, I'm going to make this big, the Moyle match. Yeah, nice. Now, what's happening here is it's not quite big enough to stretch from one side or the other. And if I increase the size of the text, it's going to start taking away from my precious space. So what I'm going to do is go to the 3 dots just there. I'm going to increase the letter spacing, the Moyle match. So this is a dedicated tennis magazine for tennis fans right near any Moyle in Wales. And there we go. No trees here. Nothing to be seen for miles and miles. Right. That's the name of my newspaper. Easy peasy. Jones, let's see what you've got in your locker.
Okay, let's go. So tap on the Express logo, top left-hand corner, takes us back to the wonderful new homepage experience. And we're tapping on create a poster. That's that card there in the middle of the top row. So let's give it a tap. And we need to come up with a name for our newspaper. So I'm going to tap on T for text, which is over there next to Dom's window, T for text. And then the blue button at the top, add your text. Okay, and then mine is going to be something like the Daily Gossip. There we go.
The Daily Gossip.
Yeah, mine's a proper trashy gossip. Yeah, no. The type that like hacks people's phones and things like that. You know, that's my We'll get the story whatever it takes. Well, that's the kind of horrendous journalism. Right. So There it is. There it is. Now the font, now there needs to be more of a kind of trashy red top font. So I'm gonna go scroll down. Now I want bold and italic. I want those two things. So I'm just gonna scroll down and I'm gonna look for a big strong font, a big strong font.
There's one just up from that, which is really good. Oh, that one.
A big strong font which has a drop down next to it. So you can see these ones here, they don't look very strong, IBM Plex, okay? But if you drop that down, it does show you then different options for it. And there we go, like a bold italic. That's what I want. I want a bold italic. There we go. So
nice, yes.
So, and then I want it to be a red top, yes. So I'm going to go and tap Effects, top left. Scroll down to Shape, and we're going to add the square. Tap on the square again. Change the square color from this strange custard hue to a tabloid red. And then, yeah, the text itself needs to be white, like that. And I'm quite happy with that. Maybe the final thing I'll do is go back to Edit and add an outline to that. Maybe.
Oh, that's nice, actually. That works really well.
In black, I think, like that.
Yeah, cool. Oh.
Right, I'm done. What's next, Tom?
Right. Okay. So the Moyle match. What are we going to do next? Well, the next thing we're going to do is go to Media, Generate Image. Now, what you want here is you want a wide screen because you want this image to go all the way across the page without coming too far down so that you can get lots of things underneath. So we're going to choose widescreen here. Right. Describe what you'd like to see. Okay. I'll put young man on a tennis court holding a trophy in his hands above his head. Lots of people in the stands watching. Okay, now content type. I think I'm going to go for photo here. Yeah, got to be a photo, isn't it? It was like it had a photographer at the side taking photos of the match. So I'll change it to photo and then just go generate. Now, while it's generating, I think I'll get it into the kind of size, side to side. I want to match it with the text above. Yeah, something like that is good. And I will be cropping this as well. So I'm hoping for a little bit of space at the bottom and top. Whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
The problem is none of them are grass. So maybe I need to change this prompt to on a grass tennis court. Yeah. Generate again. But that was great.
It does.
Gosh, that kind of blew my mind. Let's see, on a grass tennis court. Come on, you can do it. Don't let us down here. Yes! Look at that. That is bonkers.
Brilliant.
That's actually on his head. First one's definitely the best. That's superb, man. That is amazing. And what I think I'll do is I'll crop it there and I'll crop it there just so that we've got plenty of space underneath where we can play around. Okay, that is my image, artificial intelligence image, all done. Right, Jones, off you go.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was good fun, wasn't it?
Right, so I'm going to tap on Media, which is here next to our windows here. Media, up at the top, Photos, Generate Image. Okay, and as Dom said, we're going to go for widescreen, or if you're not in the mood to write a lot, then you could go for square. You can go for square and fill up the front page of the photo. So don't do that. Don't do that. Right. So I'm gonna, there it is. And before we even generate it, I can kind of resize it, and I know, right, it's going to take up about that much space. Well, exactly that much space. Right. Let's type in our prompt. Okay. Young girl, full stop, 10 years old, full stop, wearing white shorts and polo shirt. Okay. Holding a silver trophy. Full stop. But when you're writing your AI prompts, break it down into really short sentences. It makes it really easy for the AI engine to understand what you want.
Top tip.
Standing on a grass tennis court.
Nice.
Okay. Smiling. Right. And then background. So
Crowds.
yeah. So crowded stadium background.
Nice.
Full stop. And then the style of this. So I'm going to go style and then add a colon. So the style of this is a bad quality newspaper photo. There we go.
Wow. Some detail in here.
Okay, let's go.
Do you want it to be art or photo?
Now, if you've typed in photo in the text description, I think that kind of overrides anything else you do lower down. You can kind of just use text rather than use the drop downs, I think.
Well. He's putting his entire career reputation on the line. Wow, that's amazing. Look at that.
Cool.
That's great.
Look, people have been, I don't know, they're all standing around on the court for no reason.
Yeah, well, they do. The dignitaries, don't they? They do. And the ball boys and the ball girls.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Amazing. They're all so good.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Like
Very
that.
cool.
Right, almost next.
Yeah. Okay, right. Next thing to do is let's get a headline in there. So, we need to go to T for text, add to text. Now it's giving me the same one as before. I don't know whether I want that. But I'll change it up in a bit. Right. So staff is from Coid Poet wins. Let's just bring this down a bit. Wins Wimbledon for the 4th time at the age of 12.
That's good going. Right. That is good going.
Yeah, it's good going.
Yeah,
it's good going. Well done, David.
He's doing all right.
Right. Yeah. He's doing okay. Right. Let me bring the letter spacing down because we need a bit of space. But then also text layouts dynamic.
Nice. I reckon David may end up taking sports for GCSE.
He might do sports like PE A-level, maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll put maybe I'll use the return at 4th time at the age of 10, 12. There we go. That's pretty good. I like that. I'm not so keen on this font. I don't think I should keep it for the next one. I think it needs to be more serious. Yeah, that's good. Love it. And then if I go back and just bring it up just slightly. There we go. Center that. That looks pretty bang on to me. So what you're doing with this one is you're doing a title, a headline. You're making sure that it's dynamic. You might want to change the fonts, but basically this is the one kind of caption that you want everybody to see. Okay. So let's get that done.
All right. So let's add some text. T for text over here, over there. Next to our Windows, T for text. And then the big blue button, add your text. Okay. So a bit of alliteration is always good, isn't it, in a headline?
Oh, here we go.
Even if you haven't
Next level.
No, I got nothing posh here, but just something like this is Daisy. So I could do something like Daisy does it again. You know what I mean? So it's just the DD. That's it. It's not posh alliteration. It's not, if every word started with a D, that would be outstanding. But Daisy does it again. All right, cool. An exclamation mark. There we go, like that. Right, now, for this, we don't want this italic font. We just want a big, all caps, bold font. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to try looking in this font family that I've got. Yeah, look, there's just a bold without the italic. So let's do that. And then let's go into the text layouts, dynamic. And now let's just push it around a bit. There we go, something like this.
Yeah, nice. That's so cool.
Down the line spacing. Like that. Now, if you wanted to stand off and look even bolderer, then you can, what you could do is add an outline to your text, okay? But add the outline in the same color as the text, so in the black.
Wow.
You know?
Done. Yeah.
So it just makes it really bold. Mega bold. Uber bold.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
What's next?
I like that. Right. So we could put something like a news article in here, but we don't want to be typing out all day. So what we're going to do is we'll go to add your text, bring this down, and we'll say read more on page 2. Okay, now I think I'll go for, am I going to go for, yeah, I think I'll go for dynamic again. I think what I'll, oh, blimey. Just because I wanted to go for dynamic, she decided to do that.
Yeah. Some ninja pollen particles must have just come in and just jumped up and over.
Right. You find the life at me. And then read more on page 2. Now that's that's okay, but maybe this needs to be darker. Read more on page 2, something like that. And then maybe put that to the side, because I do want to put a quote from my man David here. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to text again, and then I'll write in something like, I knew I would win after the umpire told me I would. Right. Something like that. That's good. And then I'm going to go down to edit. I'm going to go to effects. I'm going to go down to the shape here. So I've got the lines, the top and the bottom. I might want to just change the shape fill so it matches the other one I've got. Or I could use my dropper tool and then hover over the red here, which might be quite cool, actually. Yeah, that's good. Like it. And then go to edit again, text layouts, and dynamic. Yeah. I mean, if that's not a scandal, I don't know. The Daily Gossip will probably have something much better than that, I would imagine. So I'm going to pop it around about there.
That's quite scandalous.
It is quite scandalous, yeah. But that's okay. As long as we've got a Welsh winner, that's all I care about.
No, then.
And then, now then.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, by hook or by crook. So I'm going to pop this one. Yeah, that's good. So that's how I'm going to do those 2 little things, just to kind of block it out a bit. Let's just check in on the time. Do you want to have a go at those now?
Yes, okay, fine.
Okay.
Yes. I tell you what, I'm going to be pretty quick. I'm going to just duplicate my actual newspaper name. So there's 3 dots, duplicate that, bring this down. And I'm going to just change this text to, so triple tap, choose it all. And just read the whole story on PG 225. There you go. PG 225. There we go. So on page 2 to 5, it kind of tells you, everybody, there's a real big spread on this on page 2.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do something like that. Now then, I'm going to go into elements, into icons. I'm searching icons for the word quote.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. I know what you're going to do, yeah.
And there's some boxes in here, which I like. These are cool. I like these little boxes. So this is a good one. Bring this in. Okay.
Yeah.
Bring that down there. Look. Just fill that up like that. Let's just shift this guy over. There we go. Something like that. And now let's give Daisy's quote in here. So let's add some text. So T for text, add your text. And I'm just going to say, this means so much to me. There we go.
Oh, that's nice.
Lovely. And now, that's all I got to do now is fit that in the box. So this is, what have I got a number 1 in there?
That's cool.
Now
That's really cool.
I need to just fit it into this box. So kind of play around with, you've got to play around with the long handle to change the shape of your box, and then also the size of your text. And then maybe you want to also change your line spacing. Just crush that. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, that works well. That's nice. I didn't know there was a quote box in there. That's cool.
I found it earlier on today. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works nicely. Cool.
Yeah, that's great, and I like that. Okay, let's remove and put this on. So I just changed this into like a dynamic box and made it a bit bigger. Just wanted to play around with it a little bit. There we go. And then on the bottom here, I think what we'll do is we'll go to Elements, Search All. I'll put barcode. Right, because obviously, if you're going to buy this thing in the newsagents, you need to be able to have something you can scan it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think I'll choose this one. That's good. Pop it down here. There we go. Just using my arrows there to get it into the right place. Nice. And then the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to do like an advert, because obviously the Moyle Match doesn't have, it doesn't have the biggest price on the market, so it needs to supplement its revenue with advertising. So we're going to go to T for text on the left-hand side, add your text, and then I'm going to put an advert in here. So need to polish your silverware, question mark, call Adrian 07854235456. There we go. Okay. So I've got this kind of advert that I'm going to put down at the bottom, but I need to do some work on it. So you could play around with the text box like Mr. Jones has shown before, but you know what? Can't be bothered. Let's go to dynamic. Let's change the text on this so that it's nice and clear, I think. Something like this one. Perfect. Just need to bring it down ever so slightly. Bring it out here. There we go. 2 lines is good. Maybe I'll need to go back here, go to effects, put a shape on it. I think I'll make this one black as well. There we go. Black and a yellow. That works pretty well. I'm happy with that. And then shape size, you can bring that up until it roughly matches the barcode. That's nice. I like that. But I do need to make it fit properly. So maybe the barcode's going to need to... Oh, do you know what? It kind of blends into the barcode. That kind of works.
That's cool.
Nice. Maybe just need to try and make these two match a little bit more. Or maybe there's a little gap. That's absolutely fine. There we go. Maybe the only thing that I'm looking at here is that I think the text needs to match this kind of orangey yellow color above. So with my text color, I'm going to go to my dropper tool. You'll lose me doing this, but I'm going to click this one and then hover over this color here. And then those two things match. And job's a good one. Look at that. Amazing. Love doing newspaper covers. I don't know why, but I really do. There we go. Let's see. You finish that off?
What? What? Yeah, well, the Daily
Gossip
newspaper
of yours is absolute trash.
Yeah, the Daily Gossip is just after, ridiculous...
Just after conspiracies and
ridiculous,
fake news.
Scandalous,
Oh,
fake
that's cool, man. That's really cool. I love that.
So...
Oh, that's really tickled me. Very good.
I just added the text. I did the same as Dom. I added the barcode from the shapes, and then a ridiculous fake news, clickbaity kind of title: "Strawberries and cream and health hazard." And so I've then got into Elements, Design Assets, and found those two kind of cool strawberries. So just pop one in front of the other, and I wonder if I could have some kind of hazard. It'd be cool if I could have some kind of biohazard type of. Right.
Amazing. That is
But do something like
absolutely
this.
class. Make it smaller.
Yeah, or maybe does it work with like?
No, make it smaller. That'd be
All right.
nice.
Okay. There we go.
That's class. That is class. Love it. There you go. Well,
I think
we're
I've, I
finishing
think I've,
bang on time here.
I think I've found my vocation. I think I
I
need
know.
to.
You are absolutely wasted in this job. Show them the download quickly in the share rather than me doing it. Come on.
Oh, right, yeah. So to download, you got the download icon right up there in the top right-hand corner. Give it a tap. Now, if you are definitely printing it off, then it's worth downloading it as a PDF. Or saying that, if you download it as a PNG, it'll still print out. It'll be absolutely fine. Or you can tap on share and then choose to share a view-only link. That'll give you a URL. Anyone who clicks on that URL can see your amazing, scandal-filled front page.
There you go. Good job, everyone. That was a lot of fun. I love doing that. That was really good fun. Just a quick heads up: our next sessions are our end of year wraps. We've got a theme 1 and a theme 2. Yeah, we've got one tomorrow. We've got one next week as well, haven't we?
Yeah, week today. Yeah. So tomorrow is theme 1, and then next Wednesday, week today, is theme 2. So those are 2 different lessons. You can come to both. There's no overlap between them. So come along to both of them if you like. And that's it. That's us done for the school year then.
Yeah.
So
get your Express School challenges in. Get it done. Because you haven't got long before you got to get your pizza. So get your pizza. That's the way to go. Thanks very much, everyone. A pleasure as always. And here's to game, set, and math.